Irini. I'm going to show you how to make a favorite dish of mine. It's gyros, but I'm going to make it using chicken. If you've been to the flea market in Athens, you would have either had souvlaki on a skewer, chicken or pork or lamb, or gyros. And making this at home, it's so easy, the children will love it, everybody basically. And actually it's a very beautiful thing to see and carve in front of your guests. All the flavor goes in the chicken at the beginning. So we will create a marinade, marinate the chicken. It's very good if you can do it from the night before, but at least a few hours before, so that all the flavors are absorbed. And then I'll show you how we cook it. So to make the marinade, we have some incredible range of spices. Probably all the Greek spices are here on my bench right now. So we will start by using, they're already measured. So we have cumin, which we use a lot in our cuisine, and that goes in. We have coriander, things that will add a lot of flavor and a lot of aromas to the dish. Some smoked paprika, but also cayenne pepper, a little bit of cinnamon. You might think cinnamon is savory. Actually, yes, we use cinnamon in dishes like moussaka, which many people don't know, but actually it adds cinnamon, sometimes adds another dimension to savory dishes. Very importantly, dried oregano. And this is a garlic powder, but you could chop very finely and use a fresh garlic. Quite a bit of salt, because we have a kilo of chicken here. Quite a bit of pepper. These are our dry ingredients, but I'm going to zest a lemon for the fresh aroma that will lend. This is a great zester. Love it. Sometimes if you go for a very, the number of zesters I have changed in the last few years alone until I came across a good one, and this is great. Look how quickly I've gone through the lemon. Again, we don't waste any, and some juice of the whole lemon. Again, the chicken will love the lemon. Lamb and chicken love salt, lemon, pepper, all these very strong, flavors, and lots of good extra virgin olive oil. Part of the pleasure of cooking sometimes is actually using your hands to massage it all, and we will now add the chicken and make sure that all of it is covered. I'm using chicken thighs because they are very tender. They have a bit of fat on them and they become delicious in the oven. Whereas breast tends to fry. You've got to be very quick and very precise when you cook chicken breast. There's a lot of flavor in thighs. So I'm enjoying this part a lot, making sure that our delicious marinade goes everywhere. And all I'm going to do is cover the dish and put it in the fridge for a few hours. Before you cook it, it's important to take it out of the fridge about 30 minutes. It's good to bring it to room temperature before putting it in the oven. This is perfect. And what is great about this bowl is that it's got a lid, so I don't have to faff around, and actually good for the environment. Waste a lot of plastic wrap, which I try not to use a lot of. So the cover goes on, and away it goes in the fridge. Now the fun part. We need to cook the chicken, so in order to cook the chicken, we need to stash our gyros. And the way to do it is to create the base, which we're doing with these big potatoes. I have washed them, and actually if you use a bit of seasoning, you can eat the potatoes because they will cook beautifully with the juices of the chicken falling above, falling below, and they will flavor the potatoes, so they'll be delicious. I think we can do with a bit more potato to create a good base for our sticks. And now we don't need the chopping board anymore, but we need to put our skewers. So if you do that and that, this is great fun. Maybe I didn't need the extra potato, we'll see. We want to make a good base, similar base. It's a little bit of architectural work as well at the same time, but it's fun. Okay. So, what we now need to do, the chicken has marinated beautifully. We took it out of the fridge half an hour ago, so it's at room temperature. And now all we need to do is literally put our gyros down over the potatoes in a nice little pile. Don't press it down too much because we want to have a bit of space in between. We want it to breathe, as it were, as it cooks. If there are any uneven pieces or smaller pieces, you can fold them together. You can put them in the middle of the stack. There. We have these bits of chicken, we don't waste them, just put them underneath in the middle. And once we have our gyros there, ready, don't think we miss the piece, we cover now this with foil and we cook it in a preheated oven at a very high temperature, like 200 degrees. We let it cook for about an hour and then we uncover it and we brown it. But before we do that, it'll be very nice to give it a little bit of more of a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Over the potatoes as well. A little bit of salt, pepper, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. And then we cover it with some foil. We want to slow cook the chicken, we don't want to burn it. And because it is starched, it won't cook. It will need a little bit of time to cook. It's not just one single piece. But actually, it's now ready to go in the oven. So chicken is out of the oven. Now we're going to put the whole thing together. Cooked the pitas, they're fried, they're lovely, fluffy. What we're going to flavor everything together is with a little bit of tzatziki, some onion and some tomato. So for this, we literally slice the onion. We don't need to be very MasterChef-y, just very thin slices. In the plate in front of me, I have already mixed a little bit of vinegar and olive oil. That's enough. So we want to add a little bit of flavor. We want to dress them. And a few slices of tomato. I'm cutting them very thinly because you may decide to treat this like you do the souvlaki. So you put the chicken, the gyros, and everything else in the pita, you roll it all up and you eat it. So in that case, you do want to cut it a little bit thin. A little bit of oregano. A little bit a little bit of salt. And literally, we just stir it together. We just want to add a little bit of flavor to the vegetables. And then we need a sharp knife to cut the gyros. Have some of the gyros, which is cooked beautifully. We slice it thinly. So I'm going to take a good dollop of tzatziki to put on the pita, spread it liberally. Then I'm going to take a little bit of our tomato and onion. And then, how much fun is this? Lots of that, a bit of drizzle of fresh, fragrant olive oil, a little bit more oregano, and now what I was telling you, you have the option of doing that. And straight in. It's delicious. Or you could leave it flat on your plate.